Welcome to the world of one of the most mysterious and captivating birds in nature, the great-eared nightjar. Known for its striking appearance and incredible adaptations, this bird is often called the dragon bird. Why? Because at dawn and dusk, these birds take to the skies like miniature dragons, chasing insects with precision and grace. But here's the twist: they vanish completely during the day, blending into the environment so seamlessly that you wouldn't even know they're there. In today's video, we're diving deep into the secret life of these night-loving creatures, exploring their habits, legends, and the science behind their unique abilities. The great-eared nightjar is a master of disguise, employing some of the most effective camouflage techniques in the natural world. By day, this bird virtually vanishes into its surroundings. Its plumage is a perfect blend of browns, grays, and blacks, designed to mimic tree bark, fallen leaves, and twigs. The bird's unique ability to blend into its environment is so precise that even experienced birdwatchers can walk right by it without ever noticing. During daylight hours, these birds remain completely still, often lying flat against the forest floor or along tree branches, making them almost indistinguishable from their surroundings. This cryptic coloration is essential for their survival, protecting them from predators like hawks, snakes, and mammals that would otherwise hunt them down. Their immobility and perfect mimicry allow them to rest undisturbed, recharging for their nightly hunting adventures. But it's not just the color of their feathers that makes the great-eared nightjar an expert in camouflage. Their behavior plays a crucial role as well. When threatened, instead of fleeing, these birds rely on their stillness to avoid detection. They position themselves in such a way that they align perfectly with the natural elements around them, becoming almost one with the environment. In some cases, they'll roost horizontally along branches, mimicking a piece of wood or bark. This behavior not only protects them during the day but also extends to their nesting habits. Their eggs are laid directly on the ground, often in leaf litter, where they blend in just as seamlessly as the adult birds. This mastery of disguise ensures that the great-eared nightjar can survive in a variety of environments, evading both predators and human disturbances, making it a true champion of survival in the animal kingdom. For centuries, the nightjar family has been shrouded in myth and legend, with one of the most bizarre stories being that of the goat sucker. This ancient belief dates back over 2,000 years to when people thought these birds would swoop down at night and drink milk from goats. The idea was so widespread that the scientific name for the nightjar family, Capra mulgiformes, literally translates to goat milkers. While this myth has long been debunked, it reveals how misunderstood these birds were in ancient times. People saw their large mouths and nocturnal habits and misinterpreted their behavior as something sinister. The nightjars were often active around livestock, which likely fueled the myth, as they were actually hunting insects that gathered near the animals, not attacking the goats themselves. The persistence of the goat sucker myth highlights how little was known about these nocturnal creatures in the past. With their silent, ghost-like flights and sudden appearances at dusk, nightjars inspired a mix of fear and fascination. Early observers were baffled by their large, gaping mouths, which are perfectly adapted for catching insects on the wing. However, in the dim light of dusk and dawn, these traits were misinterpreted, leading to strange stories that persisted for generations. In truth, nightjars are harmless insectivores, playing a vital role in controlling pest populations. Far from being feared or misunderstood, they should be appreciated for their unique adaptations and their contribution to maintaining balance in the ecosystems they inhabit. When night falls, the great-eared nightjar transforms from a master of camouflage into a stealthy and efficient aerial hunter. These birds are perfectly adapted to life in the dark, with large, sensitive eyes that allow them to see in low-light conditions. Their wide mouths, which appear almost oversized for their heads, are ideal for snatching insects out of the air during flight. Nightjars primarily hunt at dusk and dawn, when the sky is teeming with insects like moths, beetles, and mosquitoes. Using their incredible agility, they dart through the night sky in swift, unpredictable patterns, resembling a predator playing a game of tag with its prey. The precision with which they hunt is remarkable, making them one of nature's most efficient insect control agents. As they fly, they emit almost no sound, relying on their keen senses to track down their next meal, all while remaining nearly invisible to both predators and prey. But their hunting strategy is more complex than simple flight. Great-eared nightjars often use a technique known as hawking, where they launch from a perch, capture an insect midair, and then return to the same spot, much like a bat. Their highly evolved wings, designed for silent flight, give them an advantage in sneaking up on unsuspecting insects. In addition to their speed, they have another secret weapon: echolocation. While not as sophisticated as bats, some nightjar species are thought to use rudimentary forms of echolocation to detect objects in their path during low visibility conditions. Their ability to cover large hunting grounds with minimal energy expenditure makes them expert aerial predators. This combination of agility, stealth, and sensory adaptations places the great-eared nightjar among the top nighttime insect hunters in the animal kingdom, a role that is crucial in maintaining the ecological balance in their habitats. At first glance, the great-eared nightjar's striking appearance is enough to spark the imagination, drawing comparisons to mythical creatures like dragons. With its large, tufted ears resembling horns and its shadowy figure cutting through the twilight sky, it's easy to see why some have dubbed it the dragon bird. The nightjar's elongated wings, paired with its flowing, almost mystical flight patterns, create an eerie silhouette, especially when set against the backdrop of a dimly lit forest. When perched, its wide, gaping mouth and intense gaze add to the creature's fearsome, yet captivating, aesthetic. These distinct physical traits combined with its nocturnal lifestyle make it seem like a creature from legend rather than an ordinary bird. In some cultures, nightjars, especially the great-eared nightjar, have even been linked to folklore involving spirits, further cementing their reputation as otherworldly beings. But the dragon-like comparison doesn't end with its appearance. The bird's behavior during flight adds another layer of intrigue. When hunting, the nightjar moves with a grace that's both elegant and predatory, gliding effortlessly through the air in pursuit of its insect prey. The large, fan-like wings that extend outward give it a majestic presence, reminiscent of how mythical dragons are often depicted soaring through the clouds. Even its call, an eerie, haunting sound that echoes through the night, adds to the mysterious aura surrounding it. While it may not breathe fire, the great-eared nightjar possesses an almost magical ability to vanish into the shadows, only to reappear as it silently swoops down for a meal. This blend of physical and behavioral traits has led many to view the bird as a symbol of both mystery and power, evoking images of the dragons from ancient lore. The breeding and nesting habits of the great-eared nightjar are as fascinating as the bird itself. Unlike many other birds that build elaborate nests in trees, nightjars take a simpler approach. They typically lay their eggs directly on the ground, often in leaf litter or rocky outcrops, where their camouflaged plumage and surroundings work together to protect their offspring. The eggs, which are also patterned to blend seamlessly into the environment, are incredibly difficult to spot, even for seasoned wildlife observers. This strategy minimizes the need for constructing a nest, allowing the nightjar to conserve energy while relying on its natural stealth for protection. Both the male and female share the responsibility of incubating the eggs, taking turns to ensure that one is always keeping a vigilant eye on potential threats. This coordinated effort helps to keep their nest hidden from predators like foxes and snakes that could easily snatch the vulnerable eggs. Once the chicks hatch, the real work begins. Nightjar parents are incredibly attentive, feeding their young with a steady diet of insects they catch during their nightly forays. Unlike many other birds, nightjars do not bring back prey piece by piece. Instead, they swallow the insects whole and regurgitate them for their young as nutrient-rich pellets. This method allows the chicks to grow quickly, and within a matter of weeks, they are ready to leave the nest and fend for themselves. During this critical period, both parents remain highly vigilant, often employing diversion tactics to lure predators away from the nest. If a threat approaches, the parent may pretend to be injured, flapping its wings and drawing attention to itself, leading the predator away from the vulnerable chicks. This level of care and cunning ensures a higher chance of survival for the next generation of great-eared nightjars, a testament to the species' evolutionary success. The great-eared nightjar, like many other members of its family, has long been steeped in folklore and superstition, particularly due to its mysterious nocturnal habits and eerie calls. In various cultures around the world, nightjars have been associated with both good and bad omens, their nighttime activities giving rise to tales of spirits, witches, and even death. In some European traditions, nightjars were believed to be harbingers of doom, their haunting cries in the dark considered an omen of impending death. The bird's elusive nature and its ability to appear and disappear into the shadows further fueled these superstitions, leading to its reputation as a creature of the night, closely linked with the supernatural. In parts of Africa, the strange, almost otherworldly sounds made by nightjars were sometimes interpreted as the voices of spirits or ancestors, making these birds central to local myths and legends. However, not all folklore surrounding nightjars is sinister. In some indigenous cultures, these birds are seen as protectors or guardians. For example, among certain Native American tribes, nightjars were viewed as spiritual guides, their calls offering protection during the night. The Hopi people, in particular, revered the nightjar for its ability to enter a state of torpor, or deep hibernation, during harsh conditions, a trait that symbolized resilience and survival. This unique ability to endure tough environments allowed the bird to be seen as a symbol of endurance and adaptability. Additionally, in ancient agricultural societies, nightjars were often considered allies, as their insect-eating habits helped protect crops from harmful pests. These positive associations reflect a deep respect for the nightjar's role in maintaining the balance of nature, showing that while the bird may have a spooky reputation in some regions, it was also admired for its beneficial qualities in others. While the great-eared nightjar might be the star of our show today, they are part of a much larger family. There are almost 100 species of nightjars spread across the world, each with its own unique adaptations and quirks. For example, the pennant-winged nightjar of Africa has long, trailing feathers that flutter behind it during flight, giving it a majestic and almost mythical appearance. The lyrate-tailed nightjar from South America has tail feathers twice the length of its body, creating a visual spectacle in the air. These birds have evolved in such diverse ways, adapting to their environments in ways that make them seem almost unreal. Unfortunately, not all nightjar species are thriving. Many face threats from habitat destruction, pesticide use, and declining insect populations. In particular, nightjars that nest near roads often fall victim to vehicle collisions. Their natural instinct to freeze in the face of danger works against them when confronted with car headlights. Conservation efforts are underway in various parts of the world to help protect these unique birds, but more needs to be done to ensure their survival. The decline in insect populations, largely due to human activity, is another major factor affecting nightjars, as it directly impacts their food sources. The great-eared nightjar and its relatives are truly some of the most fascinating birds on the planet. From their dragon-like appearance to their mysterious habits and their crucial role in the ecosystem, these birds are deserving of admiration and protection. What's your favorite nightjar species? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible wildlife content. Stay curious, and until next time, keep exploring the wonders of the natural world.